This 1948 school bus has gone from this to this to this.
Right this way, the show's starting. We never dream of starting without you.
That's right. In this video, we're gonna haunt this bus. We're gonna decorate it and get it ready for this weekend's trunk or treat event held by the Hooligans Car Club. Now, I'm sure most of you already recognize this bus and had watched the video. You know, the revival of this bus went viral, millions of views. We got it revived from the forest, got it back on the road, and then we took it back to the old Stafford Baptist Church that it used to reside, and met with some elders and learned the history. It was a blast. But since then, we've entered it in some car cruises and some classic car shows, and we also enter it in the Hooligans Car Club Halloween trunk or treat event. And we haunt the bus, decorate it, and there's a witch inside the kids got to get the candy from. It's legit scary. We have a blast, and I'm going to take you guys along as we decorate this bus and take it to that trunk or treat event this Saturday. So let's go. Now, to be honest with you, this thing has sat for the last year. We put it in last year's trunk or treat event, and then it's been a year since we've even started this thing. It's just been sitting here. So first things first, I'm gonna have to get a battery in it and check out the motor and get this thing started up. Once we get this thing running, we know it's good for the road. We'll go inside and clean up and get it haunted. So let's get started. And these doors are still a little rickety. They need work. And I pointed out in the last video that this thing still leaks a lot of water right here under the windshield and under the dash. And it's supposed to rain pretty hard this weekend. And it is a rain or shine event, but depending on how bad it's raining is going to dictate if we're going to make it or not, because this thing has no wipers either. And then if the water's just pouring through in a deluge of rain, that's where all the electronics, the fuse panel, as well as some other things, because, well, in this week's video, we have a battery sponsor for a deep cycle battery, VATRER, and we're going to install that as well with the inverter. And having all that stuff getting wet is not ideal. But we did kind of start cleaning up. We removed all the cardboard boxes I had piled nearly to the ceiling in here, and my wife kind of swept it out and started bringing some of the decorations in here. But once we get it all decorated and get the lights going and the fog machine going, and we've got the witch in here all decorated, and we got the music playing, it gets pretty spooky. A lot of the kids don't even want to get on, or they turn around and leave. So we'll try to tone it down a little bit for the little ones. But most of the decorating I leave up to my wife. What I need to do is make sure this thing is running and ready to drive. Also get that VATRER deep cycle battery installed with the inverter. Normally we run all the lights and fog machine and what have you off of a generator. But with that new VATRER deep cycle lithium battery installed, we're going to attempt to be fully self-contained power-wise. Of course, we'll put it to the test and we'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and get the bus battery in here first, and we'll check the oil and what have you under the hood and try to get this thing started up. Sitting for a year. This is a true cold start. Well, let's go pop the hood and show you what we're dealing with here. As you can see, we have not popped the hood in this quite a while. I'm gonna have to get all these leaves and debris off of it here, but alright. Oh, geez. Well, obviously there's like spider webs everywhere here. You know, this bus originally came with a flathead, and in the 60s the church swapped it out for this 1957 312Y block, which was completely locked up and rusted. I was able to break it free and get it started up and running, and this thing runs great. We rebuilt the carb, rebuilt the water pump, I threw a starter on there, and you know, new plugs and wires and what have you, new coil. And this thing runs great. I completely rewired the whole bus with a painless performance wiring kit, and we put new cooling system on it, what have you. Well, I went ahead and put a battery in it already, so I guess I'll climb in there and start cranking and see if we can't get this thing to fire up. Here, I'll set you guys right here so you can check it out. I guess really quick, I'll check the oil. It's never really leaked the oil out, but Better check it since it's been sitting here for a year. Oh, yep, right to the full line, and it looks good. All right, well, fire in the hole. Just like so. I had to crank her a bit to get the fuel all the way up to there, but she fired right up. And just a little bit of choke, which I could probably shut it off already. Like I said, she runs pretty good for as bad off as she was, and for as little as we had to do. I mean, comparatively, like the dang El Camino is putting up way more of a fight than this thing ever did. Well, I mean, just like that, it's ready for the road. And with that, it leaves us with today's sponsor, VATRER lithium-ion deep cycle batteries. This is a 100 amp hour deep cycle lithium-ion battery that they sent me to do a review on. And so we're going to install this in the bus and hook it up with an inverter, and this will run all of our power needs without tapping into the bus's starter battery that we don't want to jeopardize draining dead and getting stranded somewhere with the dead battery. So this will be a complete separate onboard system to run all the onboard power that we add to it. Lights, fog machine, sound, whatever. Now, I've worked with deep cycle batteries before, but just the standard deep cycle batteries, not this lithium ion. And so we're going to have to look into this a little bit and figure it out. And I'll take you along with me, and then we're going to see how well it does for us. All right, well, now excuse the mess. It's the battery that we're focusing on here. And first off, you know, it's a nice, clean, solid looking case. I know there's different cells in here, but it's first thing off the bat I noticed was it's got an app. You can connect this battery to your phone via an app. I've never seen that before. And then also self-heating. You know, reading up on the manual a little bit, this thing, if it reaches a cold enough, dangerously cold level, the battery can't operate and it'll self-heat, keeping it in a safer zone. I've never even heard that either. So they've really come a long way when it comes to deep cycle batteries. Now, once receiving this in the mail, it was mostly charged. I did purchase my own lithium ion battery charger and topped it off. It didn't take long at all. I'm going to go ahead and download the app to my phone, and we're going to see how that all works. All right, well, I went ahead and downloaded the app and got it here on my phone, VATRER. Check it out. Is that it? All right, I think that means we're connected. Let's see here, dashboard. Oh, there we are. Yeah, so yeah, it's still 100% charged. That's really cool. You could see. Now, I've never had one of these, and I'm new to this, so I'm going to have to dig through this and really figure it all out. It has the temperature on here. Wow. Each individual cell, their volt readings. I guess there's 4 lithium ion cells in that case. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to read up on this stuff and learn as we go. You know, once we get it all hooked up and we start pulling a draw off of this battery and draining it, we'll be able to see that on here. Hopefully we don't drain it dead. We'll have to see if we even drain it at all. I have no idea how much consumption we're going to use and how well this battery is going to perform. But the fact that we could just watch it on the fly on our phone is pretty cool. So I guess I need to get this all hooked up in the bus because I have to hook it up to a small inverter. I've got a portable one that we're going to use for this test, but eventually I'd like to hook up a more permanent one in the bus with this whole setup. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, well, just a rough test. The first test to see how this all works out, I just grabbed all the lights and fog machine and black light, all the components that we're going to have plugged in, and plugged them all into the inverter, which is hooked to the battery. And I wanted to see if it's even going to power all this. All I've got is this small Black & Decker inverter, like 750 watt, you know, less than 7 amps. So it's not a very big inverter. But I went ahead and hooked it all up, gave it a quick test. You can see I dropped 1%. This was already been sitting on the bench for 2 weeks, not being charged. And then my little test brought it down 1%. So obviously before we go anywhere, I will be charging this all the way up before we go, since I don't have it hooked up to the bus. Ultimately, when I have this permanently installed, we'll have a better inverter, and it'll be being charged off the alternator with a DC to DC charger. But for now, we'll just charge it up before we go, and then we'll see how much that powers. So I can give you a little demonstration on how this is all working. You can see that there's no current being drawn or watts at this point, and we're now 99%. Let me get this inverter turned on. There we go. Oh, it's giving me a warning that we're drawing too much power. Now, because of that annoying alarm, I decided to do a voiceover on this part. But pretty much it only went off during the initial heat up phase of that fog machine, which was pulling almost 70 amps, as you could see. But once that shut off, we dropped down to a normal level. Okay. Well, something, it just dropped down to 24 amps it's drawing right now, 300 watts. So that heats up, that draws a lot of power heating up. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and disconnect all this, and we'll go ahead and decorate the bus, get all this stuff set up the way we want it, and then I'll reconnect it all with this a little bit more permanent, at least where we could drive with it, and then we'll go from there. Now, how fun is that? Pretty scary.
We don't have a smoke.
You gonna turn the smoke on again?
It's talking about murder.
Oh, the kids are loving it. All right, well, guys, we didn't make it to the Hooligans Trunk or Treat event, unfortunately. We're super sad about the whole thing. There was several factors that kept us from going. Mainly the weather. You know, that was just a torrential downpour, and the winds were crazy that day. I worked most of the day in town, and we had trees come down at work, and power in the neighborhood had gone out. Super stormy, and by the time I got home, it was already getting late. The bus, like I was saying, doesn't have wipers and leaks water from the dash, so it was already getting wet. I'd had it covered with a tarp, but the wind blew it off. So we were already running behind, and then with the water coming through the dash and the weather just getting worse and worse, it was predicted that possible tornadoes and obviously thunderstorms in the area and trees coming down. And of course, there were some other factors that came into play as well, and we just made the decision that we couldn't make it. And I'd contacted the guys and told them that we weren't going to make it. And there were several other people that didn't make it as well because of the weather. I mean, they have much nicer classic cars than this old bus. And with the weather being that bad. And they actually cut the event short as well. There was several people that showed up, and kids showed up. So those guys are rock stars, and thanks for putting that on for the community. Yeah, we feel super bad that we missed it, especially we put all kinds of work into this bus, and we didn't even get a chance to show it off. But it is what it is. There's not much more we could do about it. I mean, we had fun around the house here with the kids and everybody, the whole family decorating and have fun. And so I'm not leaving you hanging. I'll actually share some footage of the previous Trunk or Treat events that we had, some of the highlights, so you totally get the idea and what we're talking about here. I mean, it's a blast, and it's legit scary. But before I show you that footage, really quick, I wanted to finish the review on the VATRER battery. You saw how lit this thing up when it was in full effect at night. I mean, all the lights, we even had the fog machine going, sound. All of that was running off the VATRER battery. That was quite a bit of power, and it was for a couple hours. And, well, I'll kind of show you the battery, and we'll pull it up on the app and kind of go over that a bit. All right. Well, first of all, props to my wife for the decorating. You know.
That's it. Come closer. I've got something for you. And it's not a balloon.
All right. So the VATRER battery, 100 amp hour, lithium ion deep cycle battery, kicked butt last night. And it ran, like I was saying, all the lights. There's a black light up there. There's a string of bulbs around the door. All these lit up pumpkins. We have these powered lights here that throw out different displays on the roof, strobe lights, and of course the fog machine, which takes most of the power. You know, right here I pulled up the app, and well, we're still at 88% on that battery. And like I was saying, that was running this whole bus of stuff, including the fog machine, for a couple hours, and it only dropped it down that much. And it's really cool because when it's running, you could actually see how much amperage you're pulling or charging back in it when it's hooked up to the charger. And being able to pull it up on your app in the midst of using it and just watching the power consumption go is amazing. And the only flaw we had really was my little inverter. Obviously, when we install this in a more permanent setup in the bus here, I want to get like a 2,000 watt inverter. But let me flip all this on and I'll kind of show you what we're doing here. Let me set the phone down here on the floor, and then we'll go ahead and flip on the inverter. And now we've got lights. Everything came on. We're running everything that I had hooked up to this, I believe, except for the fog machine right now. I didn't plug that in. So that's running everything in here, and you saw in the nighttime video how lit up this thing was. And this thing is keeping up, see? So we're at still at 88%, and you can see now we're pulling about, 18 amps of current. And what's that? That's saying about 240 watts of power. So that's where we're at. Now I'll go ahead and plug in the fog machine so you can kind of see when we pull some more power out of it, how this behaves. Flip this on. You hear the draw. Oh, there goes the light. And there it went. It took a little over a minute, and now my ear's ringing. But now we're fully heated up on that, which was pulling a lot. And it's dropped it down to just under, well, 19 amps. It's doing it. It's running everything. We're self-contained. I could drive around like this if I wanted. And that was kind of the plan. I was going to drive it like this, but not in the rain. Yeah. And like I was saying, you know, it was a couple hours we ran all this stuff the other night with the kids in here. And I made a little video out of it. And it didn't drop it a whole lot. So I'm really impressed with this VATRE battery. It's pretty cool that it has an app that you could actually look at it live. See if when I hit the fog machine, if it does anything on the amperage. Oh yeah, it uses a little bit to create the fog. Yeah, thoroughly impressed with this VATRE battery. I'm going to put a link to this in the description if you're interested in one. And hopefully we'll see more on this battery in the future. Uh-oh.
I like to eat your finger. Oh, would you like some candy? Here you go. You can have
It's not scary, it's just cool looking. It's just cool. You can stand behind the Aries said it's not scary. Come on. Go with me and show
I'm
me
a nice witch.
See, she's a nice witch. Come on, nice witch. I'm right here.
Here you go, sweetie.
What do you say?
And check your cheek. This is awesome.
You don't need to go in here.
I need to
I want to see too.
take a picture.
Hello. Would you like a piece of candy?
Supposed to go in there.
I'm not.
I need to get
I'm not scary.
I need it.
I am scary.
Get the candy.
Oh.
Get in there.
Would you like a piece of candy? Happy Halloween.
Go ahead,
Oh,
then.
a dinosaur.
I'm going with you. Go up. Go up. Go up. I'm going to go with you. Climb up. Go up.
Hello.
Go up. I'm going to go with you. You got to go up or other people are going to come up. Come on.
Would you like a piece of candy?
Look. It's not scary. She's just a nice witch. Come on.
I'm very nice. I will give you candy.
Come with me. I'm going to go with you, okay?
Would you like a piece of candy?
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that as much as we had fun making it. And, you know, I'm super sorry that we missed it this year. But next year will be bigger, better, and scarier. Yeah. Big thanks to the Hooligans Car Club. We love being part of their events. Really appreciate those guys. Well, I want to thank all my subscribers. And, of course, a huge shout out to all my members. I really appreciate all you guys. You know, thanks for sticking around during this time of year. You know, the videos for me get a little farther and fewer in between, but we'll get back into it. We'll be chipping away at some of the projects around here, as well as that epic barn find that I've got coming up for you. You guys are going to love this car. I'm going to make a little series around the whole thing, so stay tuned for that. And, well, I'm contemplating selling the El Camino, so let me know what you think about that. If you're interested, let me know in the comments. But that's definitely something I'm contemplating. I really wanted to finish it out before I sold it, but with finances and things going on. I may need to let that go, or as my wife puts it, the El Curse Camino. That thing has given me nothing but trouble. As cool as it is, I'm about done with that car. You know, I love it, but we may have to let that one go. But I guess that's it for this video. So thank you, and well, until next time, peace.